Here we go. We're into the Joker news, everybody. The Joker news, our first story we're going to be talking about today. I can send you the link if you want, or if you can't see it on the screen well enough.
One sec here.
We're going to be talking about
Joker.
We're going to talk about the 2024 Oscar nominations. Now, I got to be real. I don't really care that much about the Oscars, but I do pay attention to it.
Right. Same here.
You know what I mean? Like, I begrudgingly care about it in a weird way. Because I do like to think about what is the best of the art form of the year. You know, it's interesting to have, like, you know, a group of peers kind of judge each other's work in a way. Mm-hmm. That can be interesting. Unfortunately, for a very long time, the Academy has kind of been captured by whatever the politics of the moment are.
Right.
And that influences a lot of their decisions, it seems like. I don't think it's the deciding factor in everything they choose, but it's definitely for some of them.
Well, what do you make of just like the overall nominations? Because there weren't really a lot of surprises here this year, especially.
Yeah.
Minus maybe a couple like little controversies, and we'll get into that in a second, but just like with who like they were specifically choosing and then who just got completely ousted by the
who
Academy.
Got snubbed, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Are you one of these Barbie defenders? You coming at me? Barbie defending?
Barbie's now one of my favorite movies. I'm just kidding.
Well, it should be. It should be, honestly. Especially after that last podcast, dude. Somebody left a comment. They said Barbie was my favorite movie of 2023.
Of course it was.
And that's all they wrote.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, well, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like, what do you want me to say? It's just my opinion, dude.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm yourself. All right, so Best Picture, we got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, or as I like to call it, Beard, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Actually, out of all of these, I have not seen Past Lives, Poor Things, or Anatomy of the Fall, or The Zone of Interest. But The Zone of Interest is actually the one I want to see the most because I really like the director.
Yes, yeah.
Jonathan Glazer. He did this really it's like an all-time favorite movie of mine with Scarlett Johansson, Under the Skin.
Exactly. Yep.
That movie is incredible. One of the best horror movies of the past like 25 years.
Right.
In my opinion. I love that movie. It's a movie that I just like grows on me. I love more and more that I watch it. And The Zone of Interest is his newest movie. And it's about basically a commandant at Auschwitz and like him and his family having kind of an idyllic life in the countryside while Auschwitz is going on in the distance.
Yeah, while people are getting showered to death, like in the background. Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what he does with that. So, but I've heard, you know, it's obviously it's a Jonathan Glazer movie, so it's kind of polarizing. Yeah. So I'm very curious about it. I don't know. Is there anything here? Like, I think I kind of agree with you. I think Anatomy of a Fall was kind of, you know, that just became a last minute, almost had like recency bias. Like, I feel like it came out, everybody's like, oh, that's the good foreign drama.
Yeah.
I've heard it's good. I'm not judging the quality of the film, but.
I watched Poor Things. I would say like one of the recent films I watched after we did our best and worst of 2023.
Yeah.
I watched Poor Things with family, and it's an okay movie, but it has nothing really important or monumental to say. In fact, it's actually, if anything, you could kind of treat it as a comedy of like, I don't know, like a girl going to college, I guess, and just like.
Well, isn't that kind of what? I haven't seen it yet, and I will watch it because I like Yorgos Lanthimos.
Right. Yeah.
I've pretty much liked. I think I've liked everything he's made thus far.
Sure.
So I'm sure I probably won't. But I did hear that about Poor Things. That it's his kind of least remarkable movie, and it's a little bit almost feels like he just like gave in to some little pandering.
Oh, very much so. Like, it even aligns itself, even story-wise, a little bit with Barbie in that regard.
Well, because it's about like female fulfillment and liberation, like throwing off the vestiges of old society and like, you know, being the modern woman. I that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, I only give it extra kudos compared to that one in regards to just the production design. And
Yeah.
honestly, and I can't stand Mark Ruffalo's like online and like separate personality from acting, but he gives like a really really funny performance.
Dude, he's like, listen,
Yeah.
he's a great fucking actor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can't, he's a disgusting human being, but like, he's a great fucking actor. And I can't take that away from him, okay? I'm just like everybody else. I'm a normie, and I want him to be. He should be Columbo in a Columbo movie, kind of like when they made John Hamm the new Fletch, which actually ended up being
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Listen, that new Fletch movie was all right if you like Fletch, but I feel like he could do a Columbo, and I know that's normie bullshit. That's normie like fan casting. Like, I want to see the same thing I've already seen again. Guess what? I don't care.
Right. Right.
I want to see him do that, or have him see him do like a, what is it, Mikey and Nikki?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Team him up with like
Right. A John Cassavetes type. Yeah.
Jonathan Hawks. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And have Steven Soderbergh direct it. Why not? You know.
Yeah, why not? Let's get crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
since we're just talking fantasy now.
Right.
So American Fiction. Did you see American Fiction?
I missed this one, but I know it's making all the I guess it's like raving right now with critics and audiences. Everybody seems to be really liking it. I remember I think you said it was just fine. Yeah.
It's fine. It's kind of just like the messaging of the movie is a little bit muddled, and it is passively super racist. But yeah. But yeah, I didn't really love it. Barbie, we've talked about Barbie last podcast. Barbie, we're going to get into it because we're going to talk about the snub. So, Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie, the big snub. Nobody wants them. They hate them, actually. And I honestly, I think it's weird when a movie gets nominated for Best Picture and the director doesn't get nominated.
Yes.
I find that weird. I've never understood this. I'm like, well, how does that make any fucking sense? But it happens, and it happens kind of frequently, actually.
I think it still bleeds into my conspiracy theory. I think Noah Baumbach was the real director, and there was some shady things going on there, so they didn't know how to quite nominate the film in that category. So
you think it's because they knew and they were afraid of being outed, Jeremy?
I think so. I mean, if you're gonna play it up this much, like, oh, this is the first successful female directed film, like, let's peel back the layers here a little bit.
This is big feminism at work, okay?
Right.
The con is on. The con is on. The Holdovers, I'm glad that got it nominated. It is a very sweet movie. It feels like it kind of anachronistic in a way where it feels like it comes from a different time. Not the fact that it's a period piece, but it does feel like something that would have been like a Focus Features movie in like 2005.
Right.
You know, around the time like Transamerica was coming out. That's kind of like, it kind of just reminds me of that indie vibe.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just the Alexander Payne style. You know, he just is that, and that's when I started watching Alexander Payne movies.
It felt of the 70s too, like without even
Yes.
doing anything like too overt. I think even with the shots and the material, but it definitely does take you back to that time period.
Oh, 100%.
Just aesthetically. Yeah.
I mean, the aesthetics of it, I think they shot on film stock that would have been used. They edited the movie with kind of with older methods. And and if you look at the color palette, it's all obviously meant to kind of reinforce the time period and stuff. I wonder if it was nominated for like what do you call it? Like set design.
Oh,
It was good. Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, Scorsese makes a movie; they're going to put it up there. I think it's it holds its own, especially in this crowd. Honestly, we need to go back to when it was like 5 nominees. Like, this is ridiculous.
I know.
What the hell is this? Maestro, no. Maestro does not need to be in the Best Picture category. That's because I guess Bradley Cooper maestroed his way through the Academy. Trembling says Near Dark was actually James Cameron.
Hey, I agree with that.
I won't take any of this Catherine Bigelow hate. She did Point Break, but I have heard that. I know he basically wrote the script. We got Big Paul in the house. He says, "Yo, what's up, Big Paul?" Maestro, did you see Maestro?
I didn't. I missed out, but I just didn't really care to see the new Bradley Cooper vehicle. It wasn't really.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
it's,
sure I'll probably check it out maybe one of these days. But
it's fine. It's fine if you like impressions. Like
Right.
he's doing an impression of the guy, and maybe he does a very good impression, but it feels very like performancey, like give me an award type performance.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because but it just felt that way. And the fact that he feels kind of like he's earned it now, and it's like it's his, he deserves it. Like that's the way he talks about himself sometimes. Like, all right, buddy. It's like I spent 8 years learning how to make it look like I was conducting this one piece of music. It's like, Jesus, you suck that bad? It took 8 years?
Damn. What kind of method actor are you?
Yeah. What's his name? Joaquin Phoenix, when he did Walk the Line, learned how to play guitar in 6 months, Jeremy.
There you go.
6 months, dude. James Mangold of Indiana Jones fame. Because he was kind of cast kind of late, and he only had a little under a year to basically learn how to be Johnny Cash. That's impressive. 8 years for one scene, Bradley Cooper. Nah, dude.
Step it up, man.
You ain't no Joker, buddy.
It's so funny too because he does executive produce, I think, the Joker movies.
Bradley Cooper, yeah, because he's friends
yeah.
with what's his face, the director, Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips, yeah. Wow, yeah.
It's all coming together.
Yep.
It's all coming together, and we ain't joking. No Jester Maxing here. We talked about Poor Things Past Lives, Cuck movie of 2024.
Right.
Zone of Interest, we talked about that. Oppenheimer. I mean, I loved Oppenheimer.
Me too.
Almost more. Actually, I kind of think Oppenheimer deserves to win because I think it's such a technical achievement, like for the art form.
Right.
Because it's got there's problems. It's got problems. It's got it's got that classic Nolan problem of kind of robotic characters that are a little clunky dialogue. I would say out of all of his movies, this one has the least of those problems.
Yeah.
Because and a lot of that has to do with the pacing, though, and like how quickly he's going through everything. There's not even a time to sit there really and kind of dwell on anything.
What a flip in the Academy culture too would it be if Oppenheimer is the Best Picture winner? Because every time like Nolan comes out with something, he at least gets nominated for some technical direction or some performance, like with Joker or something. But like this is definitely like what he's been building up towards. And what if like everybody just kind of like throws everybody for a curveball and just votes for that one?
I think Oppenheimer is the favorite to win.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, what would you think is the favorite? I mean, people are saying that Poor Things is going to come up from out of nowhere because it kind of started picking up a lot of Critics' Choice Awards and stuff.
I think it's a toss-up between Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon, but I think either or could probably happen.
I don't think they don't. For some reason, they have like kind of a weird thing with Scorsese.
Oh, really?
They always nominate him, but he very rarely wins anything.
Yeah. It's kind of the same Tarantino effect, I guess, as well. Like they'll always nominate him, but they'll
he wins. He'll win screenplay.
Right,
win best screenplay. Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember what it was up against, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, well, that was the one to give him an award for.
Yeah,
that was the most Tarantino movie ever, and it was good. Trilling says, I get what happened in Walk the Line and Walk Hard confused in my mind.
Yes.
Best actor, Bradley Cooper. Coleman Domingo for Rustin. I don't know what that is. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. My choice is I think Cillian Murphy's going to get it.
Okay.
Who do you think? What's your guess?
I was going to say Cillian Murphy's probably the most predictable choice, I would say. But
Giamatti should win.
Giamatti should win. It's just like this is not like a different kind of Giamatti role. Like we've seen him kind of play this character multiple times.
This is like what Oppenheimer is to Nolan. The Holdovers is to Giamatti. Like it's every Giamatti character rolled into one character.
Yeah, yeah.
Like honestly, that's kind of what it is. It's a very classic Giamatti type of role.
Right.
I will say this: Jeffrey Wright is a dark horse. No pun intended. Everybody, calm down. Jeffrey Wright is could be a dark horse because even though American Fiction itself is muddled and a little middling, Jeffrey Wright is excellent.
Yeah.
He's really good in it.
He's another one of these actors who I again don't like his online personality really, but a very good actor. Yeah,
Yeah, he's great. I don't.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he does have shit politics, doesn't he?
He's a total Wokey.
Which makes it work. Which will make when you watch if you watch American Fiction, the fact that it has got like Issa Rae, the mother from the sitcom Blackish. These people are just very outspoken, kind of social justice warriors, whatever you want to call them, wokesters.
Right.
And they're in a movie about how wokeism has kind of wrought all this wreckage in like the publishing world. Like it's so weird. I felt like I was being gaslit. I'm like, why is Issa Rae in this movie? But the movie kind of reveals to you though that it's like it's okay for them to be like that.
Right.
All right, so we got Best Actress. We got Annette Bening for Nyad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. I went first last time. Who do you think who do you think will win, and who do you want to win?
Want to win? Well, I think who will probably win is Emma Stone.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're hinting at. It's tough because I haven't seen 3 of these other movies. I can only just say Lily Gladstone would be cool, I guess, but that's about.
Yeah, but dude, then we're gonna have to sit through a Lily Gladstone acceptance speech.
Yeah.
honestly, for laughs, I really want Emma Stone to win.
Right.
So when they show Lily Gladstone's face, when they do the close-up cams of everybody, I want to savor that moment. You have any idea how upset she'll be? You have any idea? Holy shit, dude! This is for her people. This is for the whole, nation.
What if she just walked up on that stage and just slapped the hell out of Emma Stone like Will Smith
just
did?
takes the Academy Award and says, "This is what it feels like to be colonized, you fucking bitch."
Yeah, get off the stage.
Get out of here. This is my award. I earned this. For me, I think Emma Stone's gonna win, and I think Lily Gladstone should win.
Yeah,
I have the same opinion. Did not watch Nyad, although I kind of wanted to because it's Annette Bening and Jodie Foster, and it's about a woman who was trying to swim across the Atlantic or something.
Oh, okay.
And she couldn't do it, but she kept trying. She persevered, I think is like the tagline. Which and I haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall. I do actually want to watch that. Carey Mulligan and Maestro, she's kind of in the same category as Bradley Cooper, where it's like, well, it sounds like a very good imitation, but I didn't get a sense of that they were real people. Maybe that's just me, and also it could be my unfamiliarity with the subjects. I'm not an expert on the person that it's about.
Leonard Bernstein.
Leonard Bernstein. I'm not a Leonard Bernstein expert. I'd seen some interviews with him in the past, and I've seen some side by. They love doing the side by side comparisons. They love doing that stuff. For Best Supporting Actress, we have Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, American Ferrera for Barbie. Really? Jodie Foster for Nyad, Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, and I guess I'll go first this time. I think who's going to win and who should win is going to match up. I think Davine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers should win.
I'm with you,
and I think she's going to win.
Yeah. Gotta support our sisters out there.
Yes, and also just a really fantastic, nuanced, layered performance, complicated character. Yeah, and she delivered it with grace and dignity and integrity, and it was kind of a I was very touched by that character actually. Best Supporting Actor: Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling, Barbie; Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. What are your choices, sir?
Well, this one really stumped me. Whether I haven't seen Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction, but the other 4, all different kinds of performances, and honestly, I wouldn't be unhappy with
any of them. Yeah.
Any of them, really. To be honest, I thought they all were very great in their separate ways. I guess maybe I might be a little bit biased, I guess, to Robert De Niro, just because like it's been such a long time since we've seen like him
Give a
like
performance.
give a performance and actually give a shit about the movie he's in. You know?
Yeah, he does a voice and everything. Like this
Right,
is very weird.
Yeah. It's a tough pick for that one.
Well, who do you think is going to win?
I can see either Robert Downey Jr. or Ryan Gosling possibly getting this award. Mark Ruffalo would be interesting if they do end up like handing that to him, but between the Robert and Ryan's of the Roberts that were
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to win,
Okay.
but I do think Robert De Niro should win.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is great in Oppenheimer, but he's like the way Nolan directs actors is like they're like pieces of the mechanics.
Yes.
And he turns you up or he turns you down. He speeds you up or he slows you down. Like it's a great fucking performance. You know what? No, I think I want Robert Downey Jr. to win too.
Right.
And I'm just coming out. I want him to win, and I think he's going to win. I don't think Gosling's going to win. I think that was just like a kind of a token.
He's more like a Spirit Choice Award kind of performance. Like, oh, okay, that was fun.
But he's good. He is good. He's
he's
like
good in the role.
Best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like even the Academy acknowledges.
Yeah.
He's better than Margot Robbie.
Right.
For Best Director, we got Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Chris Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest.
It's Nolan's year. Let's just give it to Nolan. At this point.
I don't even think there's really any other choice. It's Nolan's year. Jonathan Glazer's there just because he only makes a movie every 10 years. And they're always very artsy.
Yeah.
Yorgos Lanthimos, he's become kind of a favorite. He's become kind of a darling of the Academy over the past few years, especially when he made, ironically, The Favorite. That's kind of when he... But, was The Lobster or Killing of a Sacred Deer? Those weren't nominated for anything, I don't think.
The Lobster might have been nominated for something, and then The Favorite, I think, was also for a couple awards.
I know Olivia Colman won for The Favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, like, one other quick thing about Lorgos is that this definitely is the first time with Poor Things where his style, like, he's still trying to he's trying to do new things. He almost kind of like ventures into Wes Anderson Fantasyland a little bit with this one.
Oh no!
So I would just when you finally watch it, just be ready, for that. Yeah,
because I kind of like his I don't think he's exactly like Kubrick, but he reminds me a lot of Kubrick and his sense of humor and the way that he shoots things, and I kind of like that about him. And so if he starts teetering into Wes Anderson territory, I may stop liking him. No, I mean am I a Wes Anderson hater? I wouldn't go so far as say I'm a hater, but I'm a little over it.
Sure.
I'm like 10 years older than you. I've been watching those movies for 10 more years than you. And he's making the same movie over and over again, Jeremy.
Because he needs to do something completely different. He needs to direct a horror movie. He needs to take up what the Coen brothers are supposedly doing right now and like take their
I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah.
Because they seem angry.
Oh, absolutely.
As like guys, they seem like not just like kind of like clever, but cynical but clever.
Right.
That's kind of one of the staples of their work, the tone of their movies and stuff. But lately they've been like over the years they've gotten angrier and angrier, and I feel like their breakup briefly, and I thought Macbeth was it Joel Coen's Macbeth?
Yes.
I thought that was actually a pretty angry movie. I mean, I know it's the play, but
right.
You just kind of feel it. So I'm super stoked to see what it's going to be worth checking out regardless.
Right.
So
absolutely.
For a screenplay, we have Arthur Harari and Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, David Hemmingson for The Holdovers, Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer for Maestro, Sammy Birch and Alex Machanek for May December, Celine Song for Past Lives. Do you have favorites? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you want to win?
Yeah, I didn't even get around to May December, and this is the first nomination that we've seen of that.
It's a
I
good
guess
screenplay.
of what I've seen, I would just say the holdovers. What they're probably gonna pick. I could see either May December or
Past lives.
even
It's
Past
gonna,
Lives.
yeah, because it's gonna be the year of the cuck, dude. You know?
Yes, you're right, right.
Because well, May December is not about a cuck specifically. Well, I guess kind of.
No,
in,
it's
in
just
a weird
it's just,
roundabout way, but
it's just like an evil like three-way relationship that's like
it's a very dark movie, and I
Yeah.
don't think it does a very good job of threading the needle. I think it has the performances are great,
Sure.
performances. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a muddled movie that made by somebody who clearly thinks that they're better than the people that they make movies about, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
There's a condescension to that guy's work, and it's in all of his work.
Mhm.
And either that'll bother you or it won't.
Yeah, I pissed off a few people on LinkedIn on their letterbox page actually while I was just kind of scrolling around looking at jobs and whatnot, and I just said like in the comment section like, yeah, what a vile narcissistic film, and then that ruffled the feathers, I guess, of a few letterboxed fanboys, and so my LinkedIn career is over, I think.
It's over.
Yeah,
It's over, bros.
it's over.
Adapted screenplay. We got Cord Jefferson. Oh well, I'm sorry. I think May December is actually going to take that.
Oh, because the
It's a good screenplay. Or
Okay.
Past Lives. I could also see Past Lives taking it too. Honestly, I think it's going to
Yeah.
be one of those. I think The Holdovers should win, or
Yeah.
maybe Anatomy of a Fall. That could be. I haven't seen that yet. That could be like
Yeah.
something I'm just not accounting for. You know. Adapted screenplay is Cord Jefferson for American Fiction, Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Chris Nolan for Oppenheimer, Tony McNamara for Poor Things, Jonathan Glazer for Zone of Interest. I think they're going to give it to Barbie or American Fiction.
I would agree. Yeah, I think
might give it to-
Barbie's got a good chance, probably. I think just from the popularity and the craze of it.
It's almost now it's like an optics thing where they're like,
Yeah.
well, we have to give it to it now.
Right.
Like it has to win something. It has to win something.
And
They
they're
demanded
gonna
it.
they're gonna do some sort of like Oscar dance number before they give that award out to.
Well, yeah, they're gonna do. Are they gonna do the Knuff song or Ken Enough or something, whatever it's called?
See that we're gonna get to it here in a second. They nominated 2 songs from that movie. So
Well,
we'll see which one they.
What
Maybe
the devil's-
both.
The devil's choice there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I do. I think they're going to give it to him because the whole thing surrounding like the snubbing,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
people, I don't know. I mean, Greta Gerwig never said anything. Margot Robbie actually came out and said like, no, I don't think I should have been nominated just because of what the movie's about, which is good for her. Which is not like her buddy Ryan Gosling, who like wrote like a letter to address the snub.
That was like the first time where I'm like, oh, dude, you're supposed to be this literally me figure, and you just like wrote the most like shameful letter to.
Well, he was like apologizing for being nominated because they weren't nominated, and he's like,
You're like,
"There's
why?
no Ken without Barbie. There's no Barbie without Greta." I'm like, yeah, we understand that. Like,
Yeah.
we get it, dude. Could you one of you people be graceful about
Right.
anything? But the Twitter discourse was so like annoying because it's just we've gotten into this thing where all the jokes, everything about it is like, well, this is literally what the movie Barbie is about. It's like, well, just because it's about this does that mean it's entitled to an award because of its subject matter?
Also, just even amongst like the normie discourse too, like apparently Barbie was just like 1 out of 3 movies people saw that whole year.
Yeah.
And they're just so out of the loop of like
It's Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's all anybody saw.
that's all it. Yeah, exactly.
Animated feature is The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The only one I've seen is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I think that it definitely has a chance, but I've heard The Boy and the Heron. People seem to really like that, so.
Yeah, I do want to check that one out. Miyazaki's latest film, but all these other ones, I don't watch animated movies anymore.
Yeah, not very often. I mean, I have
Yeah.
kids, so I see more than most people.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
people that don't have children, which makes sense.
Right.
but I didn't see Elemental. Like my kids don't like my son essentially just my older son. Like he's just not into Disney movies and stuff. He just doesn't care about them. So we don't watch them. Like yeah. But what does he watch though? He watches Paw Patrol. He watches SpongeBob.
That's fine.
He watches, what else are we into? Johnny Test.
Okay.
Captain Underpants. That was a big one. That was a big one for like years.
That was like
Captain
the last
Underpants.
animated movie I saw in theaters, I think.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a fan of Captain Underpants, it's pretty okay.
Oh, yeah.
Treving says, Jeremy and Lores making the letterbox dorks seethe so bad they tell their wives' boyfriends about it. That damn straight. Prabhu says, you drew first blood. I traced. They drew first blood. Documentary feature. I don't think I've seen any of these. Bobby Wine, the People's President, The Eternal Memory, 4 Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, 20 Days in Maripol. Have you seen any of these?
No, they're probably going to give it to 4 Daughters because feminism or something.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's say that. It's going to be that or To Kill a Tiger.
Right. There you go.
International feature. I haven't seen any of these. Io Capitano, Perfect Days, Society of the Snow. I've actually heard this is very good. The Teacher's Lounge, and The Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest gets to occupy 2 spots.
Okay, that's
The
that's
same thing
odd.
happened with. Remember with those. The same thing happened with Parasite.
But yeah. Both international and American Best Picture. Like I don't understand how they're doing. Well, they did like release that like new set of rules I think last year, and
Yes, they changed things. Well, they changed things for like I think they originally changed the rules for Parasite.
Right. Well, like they all have to fit like certain quotas now. Like you have to at least nominate one like set
thing from each place.
characteristic.
But like if you're in the international feature like competition, then you should be disqualified from Best Picture and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like you have to pick.
Yeah.
You can't have 2 shots. I mean, he's not going to win. So,
No.
I'm sure there was some other movie that would have been worthy of attention from the United Kingdom. Maybe something about gangsters. Sexy Beast 2. I saw this video of an old man on a motorized scooter just kicking the ass of like 2 grown people. And he was like bald and he looked like he would be in the movie Sexy Beast.
Hell yeah.
So I called it Sexy Beast 2. Editing, Lauren Senecal for Anatomy of a Fall, Ken Tent for the Holdovers, Thelma Schoonmaker for Killers of the Flower Moon, Jennifer Lame for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Mavroparidis for Poor Things. I'm going to say that Jennifer Lame is going to win for Oppenheimer, and I think that's who should win.
And I'd say probably Thelma would be a close second. But yeah,
Thelma would be a close second, but that's because these people are so good.
Yeah.
Like, there are elder statesmen,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that she's like asked to do anything crazy in this movie, but it's just good. It's just solid stuff. They just know how to edit. They know how to tell a story clearly and concisely.
They both know how to make a 3-hour movie feel like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, you're not, even from just the technical level, I guess, the pace of Killers of the Flower Moon is great.
Right. Yeah.
Although I think we both agreed on it, though, understanding the passage of time is kind of hard in that movie because Leonardo DiCaprio was already like 47.
Yes.
So when he's playing a 28-year-old and they're like,
it's a little distracting. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell when it's 5 years later.
Yeah.
Cinematography, Edward Lynchman for El Conde, Rodrigo Prieto for Killers of the Flower Moon, Matthew Libatique for Maestro, Hoyt van Hoytema for Oppenheimer, Robbie Ryan for Poor Things. Do you have any thoughts?
I can see them picking Oppenheimer. But my pick actually would maybe be Poor Things, just because it does something really vivid and cool. They use a lot of crazy wide-angle shots in that movie that you just don't see, not even like on a Kubrick level. Like it's just kind of like, whoa, this is like what lens did you shoot this on?
Yeah, doing like cool new stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's kind of one of the that's kind of the number one reason why I want to see the movie is just for the visuals of it.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think Oppenheimer's probably going to get it, but if Robbie Ryan were to get it, based on what you're saying, I think that would probably be appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like Oppenheimer is going to sweep pretty hard.
Yes, yeah.
Original score: Laura Cartman for American Fiction, John Williams for for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Robert Robertson for Killers of the Flower Moon, Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer, Jerskin Fendrix for Poor Things. You know, the John Williams thing here. This is like Kathleen Kennedy just paying people off, like, give it something, please. I spent $350 million on that movie. Give it one fucking award nomination, please.
See, I don't remember anything that John Williams contributed to that film apart from the theme that we already know. I really don't.
He's still around. He's still around conducting.
Yeah.
You know, actually,
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives up in Massachusetts, and he really loves going to like the Boston Pops and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Every once in a while, he'll like whenever John Williams blows through town, he'll go see John Williams.
Yeah.
He still gets up there and conducts. He'll come up and conduct like a handful of selections.
Right.
Trelling says, man, unrelated to anything, but Gold Peak tea tastes like an ashtray smells. I've never had it.
Yeah,
I believe it though.
It's like an ashtray, like, piss drink pretty much. I would kind of agree. I would think Oppenheimer though is going to probably win best score. I think it's going to sweep. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. It's a good score too, though. I mean,
Right.
because it's like but it's like everything in a Kubrick, or not in a Kubrick movie, in a Nolan movie. It's
Yeah.
functional. It's actually something that drives like it has a lot more control of scenes than, well, I guess not more than other movies, but it's the way it's manipulating your emotions is very different than in a lot of other movies. Because with his historical movies, he basically does like thriller scores.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like constant like ticking and tension building, and you're like, oh shit.
Everything's very calculated, and you
Yeah.
have to be on their page the whole time. Yeah.
Like the score for Dunkirk is kind of incredible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Dunkirk is another movie.
Yeah.
It just only gets better the more you watch it, because it's such like, it's so, I don't know. I've just become very enamored with Nolan as like a filmmaker. I think he doesn't get a lot of credit because he's so slick.
Right.
It just, he makes everything look kind of easy, and it's just, we just kind of expect that of Nolan. So Nolan makes something like Tenet, and everybody turns on him for some reason because he's having fun. Like, how dare you?
How dare you re-release your movie again? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I might go see it. I might go see it.
I
again.
might. Yeah. I might.
I saw it. I saw it back in the day, dude.
Yeah. No.
Me and two other guys in an empty IMAX theater. It was amazing.
No, I'm glad you bring up Dunkirk though too, because they invented a new. Well, they didn't invent it, but they utilized a new kind of sound where it's like this harmonious ringing that starts from one end of the spectrum to the other and just keeps going and going
Yes.
and like really raises the tension.
Yeah, it's like a dog whistle. It's like a dog
Right.
whistle. Like you like the way dogs will hear dog whistles. Actually, my wife has a hard time watching it because of that.
It's
It fucks
stressful.
with- It like
Yeah.
really it fucks with her. She
Right.
gets like she's like, I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack. I'm going to bed. I mean, maybe that could be just maybe she wanted to get away from me, but you never know. Production design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Ooh, the Napoleon. That's an interesting wrinkle. I mean, from what you're saying, I would say Poor Things, but I think Barbie might take it.
I would give it to Poor Things, but Barbie's probably gonna be the takeaway. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna they have to, because they're like, look,
Right.
dude, look, it's visual, it's colorful, dude. Even though like Napoleon, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer meticulously recreate time periods.
Yes.
You know, like even though that in fucking they reproduce giant Barbie houses.
Yeah.
I'm not listen, I'm not trying to take away the achievement, Greta. You're very charming in your commentary, but come on now. Trebling says the scores Hans Zimmer does for Nolan's work for those movies, but don't work on their own. I much prefer Zimmer's 80s, 90s stuff, which is actually beautiful to listen to on its own. It's like parts of, if you listen to like a suite, like listen to the Inception score, but kind of like all blended together as a big suite. It's actually pretty good. I used to, and I still do occasionally, listen to that stuff when I'm on the elliptical at the gym.
Yeah.
I'll throw on like the Inception or Dunkirk but I can understand what you're saying though. They're very different scores than from what he used to do back in the day. I've watched actually some of his live concerts. I really would love to go to one. They look super fun. It's kind of like in the same way that Carpenter's concerts are supposedly kind of fun. But Hans Zimmer like busts out his electric guitar and he's like rocking out like it's his rock star moment. He's having a blast up there, fucking playing that Wonder Woman. Like he's having the best time of his life. Yeah, just rocking out on that guitar.
Yeah.
Trembling prefers the days when he was doing the score for Driving Miss Daisy. Costume design. We got for Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Honestly, actually, I might give it to Poor Things based on what you're saying. Other than that, maybe Napoleon.
Yeah, I was gonna say Napoleon would be like a close second. I was if there was anything, I was like, oh, this looks period accurate. I like the.
I actually really like the look of Napoleon. It's a good looking movie.
Yeah.
I'm not a Napoleon hater like some people are. I'm looking forward to actually watching the 4-hour cut whenever that comes up.
Yeah.
Prophet says, gentlemen, I'm about to close this getting into laser discs. Thoughts? Anyone want to tie a rope around my waist and pull me out of this before it's too late? No, I think you need to go all the way.
Go all the way.
You
get a player and have like 20 good laser discs, and then that's all you need.
Trembling says the scores for Black Rain, Rain Man, and Days of Thunder are excellent. They are. Black Rain is actually kind of a low-key one of my favorites. I actually only saw it for the first time a couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Let's see. Visual effects, the creator, Godzilla -1, which is the one award that they got nominated for. Mm-hmm. They had that list of international movies. They could have fucking taken off Zone of Interest, which is already nominated for a Best Picture, and they could have given it to Godzilla -1. These bastards. They just hate the anything that's just positive.
They hate the Japanese. Yeah.
They hate the Japanese, dude.
Yeah.
They love China. Prophet says, when I'm at the gym, I throw on the Joker music from Dark Knight. Just one whining, droning note that rises and rises until I hit that PR. That's right. So you got to do what you got to do. Listen. So that's how you get peak. That's peak fitness.
Yeah.
The creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. I hope Godzilla -1 wins, and I kind of think it will. But the creator is actually pretty impressive. From a visual effects standpoint, world building is the best part of the movie. It is the reason to watch the movie because the movie itself is kind of middling. It's like it's okay. And it's not very emotionally resonant, and it's trying to be, and it's kind of an awkwardness to it.
Yeah.
Because Gareth Edwards shouldn't have went from $10 movies to $200 million movies.
At least not as fast as he did. Like he needed to take his time. You
need to learn how to tell stories.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I didn't catch Mission Impossible or the latest one.
Mission Impossible.
But I'll probably check it out at some point.
It's it's entertaining. I like the Mission Impossible movies as kind of like an action franchise, kind of the dad core franchise of the now, other than John Wick maybe.
Yeah.
And it's the worst one in a while, but it's still entertaining. It hasn't turned into like the Fast and Furious movies yet.
Oh, not yet. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think is going to win? What do you think is going to take it? Godzilla?
I hope Godzilla is the one, and it seems like that might be like the fan pick. I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think people will go for that.
Yeah.
Sound design, the creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, Zone of Interest. I've heard Zone of Interest. This is what I've heard, but Oppenheimer is probably going to win.
Yeah. I think Oppenheimer's going to win. What have you heard about Zone of Interest? Is it like...
Well, because basically the main focus of the movie is the sound design. Because it's about, a commandant of Auschwitz, and his family living in a kind of an idyllic garden, hanging out in a garden, while Auschwitz is over the hill. And they can hear everything. They hear all the sounds coming from the concentration camp while they're just going about their daily lives.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the mundanity of evil, the banality of evil.
Okay.
Trembling says the creator and Rebel Moon might as well be the same movies to me. Oh, that's rough. I would go creator over Rebel Moon any day of the week, but I think, Rebel Moon is, if you like Zack Snyder visuals, then you'll like Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed in Rebel Moon. I wanted to like that movie. I was in Zack Snyder's corner. Okay? I wanted to. Trembling says, I like the new Mission Impossible, how obvious the move up in quality of love interest was for Tom Cruise. Oh, from going from Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah,
I like Rebecca Ferguson though.
I do too.
I do. I think because she seems like she has a good personality. You know. Are you gonna make us rank? Okay, 1 out of 10, Jeremy. Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, I knew this was coming.
She's an 11. That's what I say. All women are an 11.
I got to keep it at a healthy 8. 8.
Healthy 8? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. I think so. I'm not a Rebecca Ferguson hater like Trembling is. I like Rebecca Ferguson just fine. Haley Atwell, though, is, I mean, yikes. I mean, she's nice. She's a nice looking lady. I don't know why I made that so drawn out and creepy. I'm like, yikes. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? Because I was like, I kind of got lost in thought of how beautiful she is. Austin says, Haley Atwell is bae. Listen, the people have spoken. Who am I? All right, let's blow through these last ones. Original song, The Fire Inside from Flaming Hot. Didn't watch it. I'm Just Ken from Barbie. I Never Went Away, American Symphony. Wahaza from A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. What Was I Made For from Barbie? I'm going to say best original song is going to be the one from Killers of the Flower Moon. Is one that's probably going to win and maybe should win. Although I'm Just Ken could win because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Although I feel like I'm
or.
Just Ken is like when they nominated Blame Canada from the South Park movie.
Well, it's the Wakanda Forever sort of effect again. We're gonna see if they're gonna go for the blockbuster pick or the artistic, politically correct pick. I don't know. You know.
I hope Common shows up and just starts playing the song that he wrote for Selma.
Yeah.
Just to show everybody that, show everybody what's what.
Right.
Live action short, we don't know that. Documentary short, no. Animated short, we don't watch that stuff. We just want the big awards. Okay, well, that's the awards. That is the awards for the 2024 Academy Awards. Do you ever watch them at all anymore? Or do you just do what I do and like scroll Twitter and look at speeches when they're over?
The last few years we did make it a thing with a few college friends where we would still do like the tallies and score like who would like guess the right one. The last couple years though, like I've only tuned in with like my parents now, and because they still have cable and everything. So
Gotcha.
Well,
your parents kind of the kind of people that's like, oh, it's the Academy Awards. We watch the Academy Awards. It's like a tradition.
Yeah, like in our own way. Like because we also do the scoring with each other as well. But like they're very in tune. Like they know it's all like bullshit and everything.
No, I know. It's just a fun thing to do.
Right,
like,
right.
Just to see. It's okay to just watch it for fun. Like, I don't watch it myself, but if somebody came up to me like, well, I watch. If I was invited to a party, let's say, I would go. I would go. It was
taking place.
I'd fill out the sheet. I'd get together with my other. We'll probably boomer friends.
Right.
And we'd all sit and we'd watch the Academy Awards and be all excited and drink our apple teenies. It'd be a really good time.
Right. I will say before the lockdowns, I remember those last couple of award shows, I would be looking at my watch like, is this still going on? Like how long can they like keep like going with this? Now they're getting a little bit comprised, a little bit shorter here and there, but
they're always trying to keep it tight, but they make odd choices where they put their time. Like they cut people's speeches off, but then let these like skits and stuff that nobody actually likes go on forever. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
This next story.